millions of years before the first human ever walked the earth, before dinosaurs ruled the planet. These mountains were already standing. Appalachia is one of the oldest places on Earth. Today, they look peaceful, covered by endless forests. But these mountains were once as tall as the Himalayas. More than 300 million years ago, the continents were crashing together. The collision created a giant supercontinent called Pangaea. The force of that collision pushed enormous rocks toward the sky, and the first Appalachian Mountains were born. For millions of years, these peaks dominated the planet, towering above the ancient world, long before modern continents even existed. But if these mountains were once so massive, why do they look so small today? The answer took hundreds of millions of years. Wind slowly carved the rocks. Rain reshaped every valley. Rivers carried away entire mountains, one grain at a time. Nature never stopped working. Day after day, century after century, the tallest mountains slowly became gentle hills. Then something unusual appeared. A soft blue haze covering the mountains, almost every single day. For centuries, people believed it was just morning mist. But scientists discovered the forest itself was creating the blue haze. The secret wasn't hidden in the mountains. It was hidden inside the forests. These ancient woods were doing something few places on Earth still can. Every summer, billions of trees release natural oils into the warm mountain air. That is what creates the mysterious blue haze. It almost looks as if the mountains are breathing. Every day, the forest rises into the sky. That is why millions of visitors come here every year, not to see snow-covered peaks, but to witness a living mountain range. Deep inside these forests, some trees have stood for hundreds of years. Their roots remember a world long forgotten. Ice ages came, continents changed, entire civilizations rose and disappeared, yet Appalachia remained. Scientists call it one of the oldest surviving ecosystems on our planet, a place where time seems to move differently. While mountains around the world changed forever, these forests protected life through millions of years of Earth's history. Some species living here today have ancestors older than the dinosaurs, as if evolution forgot to erase them. But the strangest thing about Appalachia isn't how old these mountains are. It's what has survived here for hundreds of millions of years. And hidden inside these forests, an ancient world is still alive. For millions of years, these forests became a safe haven. While countless species disappeared from Earth, some ancient survivors never left Appalachia. Scientists call Appalachia one of the richest ecosystems in North America, a world hidden beneath the trees. One of its strangest residents has no lungs at all, yet it has survived here for millions of years. These lungless salamanders breathe directly through their skin, making Appalachia the salamander capital of the world. Some scientists describe them as living windows into Earth's distant past, tiny survivors from an ancient world. The forests also shelter animals far larger. Black bears still roam these mountains. Most avoid people, quietly moving through forests that have belonged to them for centuries. Elk have returned as well, once nearly gone. They now wander freely across Appalachian valleys. Every season brings new life, from mountain streams to endless forests. But when summer arrives, the forest transforms into something almost magical. Thousands of fireflies begin flashing together, not randomly, but in perfect synchronization. For just a few nights each year, the forest becomes a living light show, one of nature's rarest spectacles. Visitors travel from around the world to witness this extraordinary event. Yet beauty isn't the only force here. The weather itself can change without warning. Warm sunshine can become heavy fog or violent storms within minutes. These shifting conditions help protect countless species for millions of years. Life continued evolving here, while much of the world changed forever, making Appalachia a true biological treasure. Scientists continued discovering new species inside these mountains. Every trail, every valley, and every forest still hides new secrets. But beneath these forests, something far older than every animal living here has been quietly reshaping the mountains for millions of years. A hidden world, carved not by life, but by water itself. For millions of years, no army conquered these mountains. No civilization shaped them. Their greatest architect was water. Every drop of rain, every flowing stream, slowly carved the landscape we see today. Rivers cut through solid rock. Valleys grew deeper. Cliffs became steeper. Nature never stopped building. One river became especially famous, not because it was the largest, but because it may be one of the oldest rivers on Earth. The new river flowed long before many modern mountains had even formed. Over millions of years, it carved one of America's most breathtaking landscapes. But water wasn't finished. It also disappeared beneath the mountains. Hidden below Appalachia lies another world, a maze of caves, still being explored today. The most famous of them all is Mammoth Cave, the longest known cave system on Earth. More than 400 miles have already been mapped, and explorers believe even more remains undiscovered. Underground rivers continue flowing through darkness, shaping the mountains from below. Some caverns are so enormous, they feel like hidden underground worlds. Above ground, water creates another masterpiece. Towering waterfalls hidden inside the forest. One of the tallest is Amicalola Falls. Its waters have flowed for thousands of years. Across these mountains, another path stretches for more than 2,000 miles. The Appalachian Trail crosses forests, mountains, and some of America's most beautiful landscapes. Every year, millions of people come here to experience these ancient mountains. From hidden caves to deep rivers and towering waterfalls, water became the true architect of Appalachia. But beneath these beautiful mountains, another treasure had been waiting for millions of years. Then humans discovered something buried beneath these mountains, a black rock that would power factories, build cities, and change America forever. For millions of years, these mountains quietly watched the world change, but one discovery beneath Appalachia would transform an entire nation forever. Hidden beneath these ancient mountains lay one of America's greatest treasures: coal, a black rock that powered the modern world. As industries expanded, the demand for coal exploded, and Appalachia became the heart of America's energy. Railroads stretched across the mountains. Every train carried black coal to factories, cities, and power plants. Thousands of miners arrived from different regions. Entire communities grew around the mines. Company towns appeared everywhere. Homes, schools, stores. Everything belonged to the mining companies. For many families, coal brought opportunity, steady work, a regular income, and hope for a better future. But life underground was never easy. Dark tunnels, constant danger, and deadly accidents became part of everyday life. Every shift could be a miner's last. Explosions, collapses, and toxic air claimed thousands of lives. Even so, the mines kept expanding, because the nation could not function without coal. For decades, Appalachia helped fuel America's industrial revolution. Its mountains powered factories across the country. But nothing lasts forever. As new energy sources emerged, many coal mines began shutting down. Jobs disappeared, families moved away, and once busy mining towns slowly fell silent. Many buildings were left behind, schools closed, stores emptied, nature quietly returned. Some towns became true ghost towns, silent reminders of an industry that once ruled these mountains. But one place became even more mysterious, a small town called Centralia. In 1962, a fire started inside an old coal mine. No one imagined it would never stop burning. Even today, that underground fire continues burning beneath the town. Most residents left, roads cracked, smoke escaped from the ground. Centralia became one of America's strangest ghost towns. The mines disappeared, many towns were abandoned, but the people of Appalachia never abandoned their mountains, because the greatest story of Appalachia was never about coal. It was always about its people. Mountains can shape rivers, they can change the weather, but Appalachia did something even more extraordinary. It shaped the people who chose to call it home. For generations, families have lived among these mountains, passing down stories, traditions, and a way of life unlike anywhere else. Life here was never easy. The mountains demanded strength, and the people learned to depend on one another. Even today, many traditions have survived through countless generations. One of the most unique features is the Appalachian dialect, an English accent that preserved words heard centuries ago. Some expressions spoken here today can be traced back to early settlers from Britain. Music became the heartbeat of Appalachia. Simple instruments, honest voices, stories carried through song. Bluegrass music, born in these mountains, would later influence countless musicians around the world. The sound of the banjo, the fiddle, and the guitar became the voice of Appalachia. Another legend grew deep inside these hills, a homemade drink, known as moonshine. For many families, making moonshine was once a way to survive difficult times. Today, it remains an important part of Appalachian folklore and history. Food also tells the story of these mountains. Simple recipes, made from what the land could provide. Cornbread, beans, apple pie, fresh vegetables, meals built on tradition, not luxury. Across the mountains, small towns continue celebrating their unique heritage. Modern Appalachia looks different today. New roads, new businesses, new generations. Yet Yet the mountains remain exactly where they have always been, watching silently as time continues to pass. Millions of visitors now come here each year to hike, to explore, and to experience one of America's oldest landscapes. Appalachia is more than mountains. It is history, nature, culture, and the spirit of the people who never gave up on this land. Some places are remembered because they changed the world. Appalachia is different. The world changed around these mountains, but somehow their forests still breathe, their rivers still flow, their music still echoes, and their soul never changed.